Good morning. This is Reverend Margaret Hiller coming to you from Unity Myrtle Beach on Salem Road. Our speaker this morning is Reverend Dr. Preston McKever Floyd, and his topic will be observe it, don't absorb it. Reverend Dr. Preston McKever Floyd is former professor of religious studies and philosophy at Coastal Carolina University. He's also the founder of the Youth Sports Academy in Liberia and one of our beloved speakers here at Unity.
Good morning and welcome everyone here and out there, wherever you are. I'm Linda Thole and I'm your platform assistant this morning. Very happy to be here. I'd like to do some, share with you something, some words written by Eric Butterworth. He was a Unity minister in New York City, way back a few years ago. And he's the author of best-selling essays, or books rather, and numerous articles and essays. And I'm reading from this book today, Unity, A Quest for Truth. And I'm reading from Chapter 1, and the title of Chapter 1 is The Relentless Stream of Truth. What is the object and goal of unity? Unity is not seeking to have unity centers or churches on every corner. Unity desires to be not a powerful organization, but a powerful influence for good in individual lives. It seeks not to be the religion, but to help people find religion for and within themselves. The interesting thing is that the really great spiritual thinkers of every age, both within and without the organized church, have clearly recognized that the only salvation worthy of the name is the life that results from spiritual unity with God. This is apparently what religion meant to Jesus. He felt himself to be one with God. To him, God was not a formula to be explained or a dogma to be believed, least of all, a name to conjure by. God was the wondrous life welling up in him, the true essence of his selfhood. This was to Jesus an actual experience in consciousness, but he knew it was an experience possible to all men and women, once they would awaken to the meaning of their own selfhood. There is nothing so peculiarly one's own as one's religion, because nothing proceeds so directly from that person's deepest, most divine self. A person may express it in different ways and use different symbols and means of devotion. But there is always something deeper than this, the spiritual consciousness that wells up in his or her own being. The only authoritative creed is the creed people make for themselves, and that creed should be kept constantly open to revision with the coming of every fresh ray of light. The only compelling form of worship will be that to which a person's whole being responds instinctively and spontaneously. And the only church to which he or she will give allegiance will be the church to whose spiritual life and message he or she is irresistibly drawn. Emerson once wrote that a sect or party is an elegant incognito devised to save a person from the vexation of thinking. Unity is no sect in this sense. There will be no attempt to keep you from thinking. As a matter of fact, unless you are willing to think about truth, to think through your relationship with God, to think as you pray and to pray as you think, there is little that unity can offer you. The lofty ideal of unity as an open-ended religion for today seems to have been clearly stated by Robert Browning in his poem, Paracelsus, which says in part, "Truth is within ourselves. It takes no rise from outward things, whatever you may believe. There is an inmost center in us all, where truth abides in fullness, and around, wall upon wall, the gross flesh hems it in. This perfect, clear perception, which is truth, a baffling and perverting carnal mesh binds it and makes all error. And to know rather consists in opening out a way whence the imprisoned splendor may escape, than in effecting entry for a light supposed to be without."
Thank you.
That was a long one, but I think it was a good one.
I'm sorry, could
For
you
us
repeat
to-
it, please?
You're so great, I just love it. Yeah. Well, let's move on now to a wonderful song. I think it is perfect for what we're talking about. Opening Up in Sweet Surrender. The daily word. The word for today is I am. And the affirmation that goes with today's reading is I am a living expression of God. And I think it would be good if we all said that together at the beginning and the end today, for some reason. How about if I say it and then we say it again together? I am a living expression of God. I am a living expression of God. In the book of Exodus, Moses asks God his name. God responds, I am who I am. I am is the name of the divine presence within me, a reminder of my spiritual nature. Sometimes I may forget my divine identity by thinking of myself as weak, incapable, or unfortunate. If I have spoken disempowering words about myself, I release those thoughts and stop using those words. Each time I say, I am, I strengthen my awareness of the truth of my being. I am God's life, love, wisdom, and strength expressing uniquely as me. As I pay attention to my thoughts and words, I am able to recognize and release limiting thoughts more quickly. My awareness of my true identity grows stronger and stronger. And from Matthew 16, verse 15, he said to them, but who do you say that I am? And let's say the affirmation one more time together. I will say it and then we can say it again together. I am a living expression of God. I am a living expression of God. And we're going to have a wonderful song now from our wonderful music team by Sue Young. Yes.
Shall we say our Lord's Prayer?
Oh, yes. Did we skip the important part? Yes. I apologize.
All right.
Usually I skip the daily word, so that's good. At any rate, thank you so much, Reverend Mark, and I'm so glad you're here today. Let's all say the Lord's Prayer together. It's such a beautiful translation from the Aramaic, the prayer of Jesus. Let's begin. Father, Mother, Earther, and breath of all, create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Let oneness now prevail. Your one desire and flows through ours as energy fills all form. Give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment and untangle the knots of error that bind us as we release others.
Do not let appearances make us
forgetful of the source, but free us to act appropriately. From age to age, through you, flow the glorious harmonies of life. May these words be fertile statements through which our future grows. Amen, amen, amen. So beautiful. And now, we'll move on to the wonderful song, Embrace It.
Embrace it.
we are, in my opinion, very blessed to have Reverend Dr. Preston McKever Floyd here. And he will be, he's a former professor of religious studies and philosophy at Coastal Carolina University and founder of the Youth Sports Academy Educational Foundation in Liberia. He will lead us in meditation and bring us his message. Observe it, don't absorb it. Reverend Doctor, please join us.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
I'm very pleased to be here. I've been excited about coming. And I do have two guests this morning which I want to introduce. Every now and then you have students. Well, students often say that they're going to keep in touch with you when they leave college. And that's difficult because people have their lives, and I understand when they don't. But I've been blessed to have one young woman, Miss Larefa Livingston, who's sitting on the front row. In the 90s, yes? 95, okay. And so she's still in my life, and I'm sure. Then I have another dear friend, and I meant to send her an announcement about today. She lives away, and she had done Facebook. And she happened to come in this weekend. She's a flight attendant, and I sent her the announcement, and she's here. Miss Margarita Lance. So I am very grateful, and it's always good to see all of you. And I've been looking forward to this ever since Reverend Margaret called me for the invitation. Let us prepare this morning by quietly closing our eyes when we feel it, and then breathing in deeply and releasing. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. We let go of our anxious thoughts. We let go of our concerns about later today and tomorrow. And in this moment, we become aware of the I am. Be still and know that I am God. Breathe out anxiety, breathe in peace. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. be. We let go and we let God. Breathe in quietly. Release. And open your eyes when you're comfortable. Amen. When Reverend Margaret called me or texted me for this invitation, she usually is right on me immediately about getting a title to her. And I surprised her this time. It was so interesting that right after we talked and we laughed about the title, I saw a meme on Facebook, and this is what it said. Observe it, don't absorb it. And that's the message. And I sent that to her immediately. And then I've spent the past month or so concerning myself about how am I going to make this concept understandable. So often when I put memes up on Facebook, people will write and say, or make the comment, it's easier said than done. Well, I have a response that I send back. It's not supposed to be easy, it's supposed to be done. So, but today, the sermon has already been preached. Through everything that has been said and done, every song has spoken to this very idea. And what made me think about this is that the world, Williams Wordsworth said this, the world is so much with us. We are crowded in, as you know, day and night, especially if you keep your television on. I try to cut mine off a lot. There's constant news. And news is never news, it's old. It's old because it's the same thing looped over and over of some bad event or some bad thing. And so we get our minds infiltrated with this way of thinking. There's always something that somehow we are not doing right. And all of the things that are not going well in the world are crowded in on us. And I remind myself so often, I'm not a master at this, but I have learned sometimes to observe and not absorb. And the beautiful thing is that we have the opening in the teachings of unity, and those of you who are trying to follow it, and you do this from time to time naturally. It's just that so often we get caught up in what's going on around us, and we think that's who we are. We think this is what reality is. But when we stop and get quiet and surrender to the one, so sweet surrender, opening up in sweet surrender. We, in the 21st century, think surrender is a bad word. Surrender sounds like losing. Yes?
Giving up.
Giving up.
That's what I always felt like to me.
That's exactly right. That you're giving up.
Yep.
Absolutely. But to learn surrender in another way. To learn surrender as laying back. I've told this story many times. Some of you may not have heard it. As a young boy, I used to slip out into the woods. I didn't know contemplation as a word. I didn't know meditation. I didn't know any of those words yet. I was a young boy. But I loved to go out in the woods. And for me, the little patch of woods was the forest primeval. When I go back, it's still there. It's not as big as this room. But it was the world for me. And I'd slip out early in the mornings. And many times I'd just lay back on the broom straw and look up at the sky. And in those moments, I felt that I was completely connected to the universe, and the universe was completely connected to me. And that image has been the image of my life. But what I've discovered is that was not just a feeling, that is reality. That I am completely connected to the universe, and that the universe is completely connected to me. And as it is for me, so it is for you. In my study of the ancient religions, one of the things we learn about is something called the axis mundi, the world center. And interestingly, wherever you are is the axis mundi. We think that, again, like with surrender, we have to be fighting or giving up something. And no, I'm at the center, you can't be at the center. No, that's not true. Wherever you are is the center. You are always at the center of the universe. And this is not an ego center, this is a spiritual center. And what's so very interesting about this, you're behind the pole, what's so very interesting about this is that science has caught up with ancient traditions, and physics will tell you the same. That wherever you are is the center. So here we have all these concentric circles that we are part of each other. But we have these strong things that has been indoctrinated into us and inculcated that we're different based on ethnicity. We're different based on gender. We're different based on socioeconomics. When in essence, we are not different at all. DNA, we're basically the same. And not only are we basically the same, we're basically the same with everything around us. But we think that we're different. And so then I want to hold on to my place. And sometimes we hold on to these places, not for good reasons, even for victimization. Your story, oh no, you weren't, no, I had the worst life. Right? But my husband was, no, my husband was worse. You couldn't have the worst husband. I have to have. Yes? Do you not hear those kinds of discussions that people, they're really fighting over victimization? Something that none of us need, nor do we have to have. A simple shift in consciousness can change that. I'm a singer, some of you may not know. But a simple thing happened one day in voice lessons. My voice instructor just told, he said, and I can't even remember the words, but you know most of the time singers, when people are trying to hit high notes, they reach up for the note. Mm-hmm. Well, he said something, and I can't remember what it was, and it shifted my thinking, so I never reach up for high notes. I come up over the note. Think about that as a possibility. Yep. Just that shift in my thinking changed the whole way that I sang. So it was no longer a strain to reach up for the note, but to come down over them. So it is with us. When we shift and think, I will observe it, but I will not absorb it. I will not take it in totally to my consciousness. That does not mean that I will not have feelings for others, that I will not have my emotions. I will experience whatever I'm experiencing openly. If I'm fearing, I will fear and not pretend that I'm not. If things are not going well, I will not pretend that they are. But I will not make them who I am. All of my life, there have been people telling me who I am or who I should be. And Marlene, you know I didn't listen, right? You already know. I didn't listen. I didn't even hear it. A friend of mine said to me some years ago, who we've been friends since second grade, she said, people used to say the most awful things to you when we were growing up. I said, really? She said, yes. I said, I never heard it. And you've seen my sunglasses, right?
Yes.
That's my love. I wish I had
How
them.
could we not see them?
Okay. Those are my love glasses. That's the same friend also told me that I looked at the world through rose-tinted glasses. But those are my love glasses, and when I have my love glasses on, I don't see haters. I don't see haters. I see unfortunate people who could possibly think that they would hate me. I don't see haters. And think about this, in a sense, when I look at you, who am I really seeing?
Yourself.
And you keep wondering why these same type of people crop up in your life. God is trying to tell you something.
Well, there's a good song.
Okay? Observe it. The other thing in my spiritual growth, years ago, I read this article and it said something about us having a witness, that we need to come to know the witness inside of ourselves. And I'm like, what in the world is that? And it's that center, and you could almost call it a person, that center where when you surrender, the sweet surrender again, you really do observe things pass by. You're not trying to put yourself into the reality, you're observing it as it passes by. Not acting like it's not happening, but not making it who you are. This may be where I am, but this is not who I am. Observe it, but don't absorb it. Observe it. Scriptures say, be not conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And I shouldn't point there because it's there. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. As a matter of fact, Rumi, I just read this a few days ago. The greatest gift that you can give to the world or anyone is the gift of your own transformation.
Yes. Nice. Yeah.
The greatest gift. And in one sense, it's the only gift. Because you are the only gift that you have to give. You may give things, you may give money, but the true gift is you. It's you. The only thing you have to give is your transformed self. One of the beauties, and I'm so glad that you're here this morning, Reverend Margaret. I was thinking about this early this morning, how you are doing much more than you realize. Because, and I love the reading, where is she?
Linda.
Where's Linda? Oh, yeah, this morning about what unity is not an institution that's trying to grab big numbers, right?
Right.
But to lead people into the sweet surrender, basically, is what's being said. And so you're doing that. I was thinking about the fact that we are so cut off from nature. Yes? But are you here in this pavilion?
No.
Darren, how about in the garden?
No.
Okay. What do you have you planted anything for the fall?
Oh, yes.
What have you planted?
We have peas, we have eggplants, we have cucumbers, we have kale, we have tomatoes, we have peppers.
Okra?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. The interesting thing about all of these plants, within the seed of each of these plants is everything they need to become who they are.
That's why Ken is my master gardener.
Okay? Everything that is necessary in the seed to become whatever it is already there. Is that not a message to us?
Yes.
Everything that we need to become more of who we are is already present. You don't have to go out and get anything. I'm a reader, and I've read. And I have to remind, well, really this week, the inner voice spoke to me and said, you've read enough. Now, I will read some more, but I should never read thinking that I need to find something else. It's already there. What you find is a reflection of what's already in you. I spoke at a church some time ago, and a young woman after, they had a Q&A. She said, can you give me a book that I can read, that you would recommend that I read? I said, yes, I can. She said, what is it? I said, yourself. Yourself. The greatest book ever written that's going to be close to you is yourself. Any book that helps you is only a reflection of what's already there. Observe. Don't absorb. Buckminster Fuller said that if you want to change something in the world, then you must create a model that's larger and newer than what you're trying to change, and it makes what you're trying to change obsolete.
You must do that quote again.
If you want to change something in the world, build a model that's larger than what you're trying to change, and more innovative, you could say also, than what you're trying to change, and make what it is you're trying to change obsolete.
Wow. Go above the note.
Go above the note. Go above the note. We get caught up in political ideology, yes, and fights about this and fights about that. Build a new model. And I'm really glad to say that here, Unity Myrtle Beach, you are doing that.
Yes.
You may not always be aware of it because you're in the midst of the work, but you're doing it. And sometimes, and of course, maybe you want this grand sanctuary, yes? But it will never be any different or any more productive than these screened-in walls.
That's right.
And our concern of look at what you've done and brought to this neighborhood. You didn't come here trying to transform it in the usual sense of the word, that somehow you know what everyone needs here. And if they're not listening to you, then they don't know what they're doing. I remember going to India. I was full-time scholar to India, and we were only there 6 weeks. And the first thing they said to us, please don't come and try to solve our problems. You're talking about an ancient land. But of course, being the ugly Americans that some of us are, we had all the answers for everything they needed to change. Yes? And don't we do that often? I know we're not going to admit it, but don't we do that often? That we think that we know exactly what should be done by everybody, but somehow we don't know what we need to do. We can answer everybody's problems but our own. Yes?
It's easier to look without than to look within.
Not only is it easier, that's how we are built. We are built to look outward. So does that mean we should never look inward? No, it means that you know that it's work. It's very difficult to look inside because you can't stand in the mirror and see that. That is something you have to experience at your most basic level, which is your spirit, your consciousness. And that takes more work. You know people who cannot stand to have a quiet house. What do?
Fill it up with noise.
Turn on the TV, turn on the music. They have to have some noise. Yes? Because being alone with ourselves and our thoughts are not necessarily always easy. But it is necessary. So let's continue to observe. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't run away. See things. What does it say here? There is sadness.
Yes.
There is an aching. Don't try to erase it. Embrace it. Embrace it. Don't absorb it. Don't fill your consciousness with it, but embrace it. Know that it is a part. It is very difficult when we know spiritually that we are one with everybody and everything. Yes? We know that. And especially on Sunday mornings, we know that, right?
Yes.
But tomorrow morning is another story. They don't quite feel like me. They look like somebody different. But somewhere in my deeper consciousness, even when I don't want to feel it, I know that everybody is an expression of God. Now, are we at all times the best expression? No. But we are expressions, which mean potentially we can always transform. We can always grow. We can always be in another place and even time. And I won't go into that right now. But observe it, but don't absorb it. There's anger. There's anxiety. Don't try to erase it. Observe it. There's laughter. There's love. Don't try to retain it, but radiate it. We see the pieces. We see the pieces. We forget that there's wholeness. That's who we really are. We are one. Surrender to the luminous one. Observe it. Don't absorb it. Amen?
Amen.
Yes, I sing with one mic.
For those of you who have not heard Reverend Dr. Preston McKever Floyd before, were you disappointed? Thank you. Let's give him another wonderful thank you. the statement, I don't see the haters. I'll have what you're having. Those glasses. I don't see the haters. Thank you for that wonderful message. So let's take a deep breath. Observe it, don't absorb it. And I just want to ride on the coattails of Preston and just reiterate. I agree 100%. We're creating a new model here. And at the top of the list is get back close to nature. Bring the nature in. Be a part of it. Connect with it. Don't shut it out. A lot of us in this room felt oneness with spirit. Consciously, we were aware of it through nature. Right? That's not a secret. Yeah. So I want to give thanks for all the people helping with this place in many, 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 many ways. I want to take a moment to thank everybody who's been involved with the refurbing of our new red barn. Reverend Gervais is not here today. Hold him in prayer. He's regaining some strength from some illness. And Ken Lennon putting in the new electrical, the paint, getting the painting done, the windows in, the doors in. The barn is being loved on, as we say in the South. And we are even going to get a new sign. It's already made and it's going to be put up. And it's very, very well thought out. The sign says, the barn. Don't you love that? So thank you, everyone. The gardens, the land, the trees, everything. And the financial support, the prayer support, the encouraging cards and emails that come in. I got a request a few days ago from our unity ministers of the Mid-Atlantic states, and at their May meeting, they all voted to ask us if we would host them next May, one whole year away. And the word on the street is, we want to come and see your porch church. So we heard you're having church on the front porch. Yeah, we got it. So let's take a deep breath of gratitude to all of us who are a part of creating this spiritual center in all the many ways that you support, with the singing, the songs. I mean, today the songs went right with the message. That's creative mind working through these musicians to work in alignment with the message. So wonderful. So consider yourself appreciated and loved. And let's carry that appreciation right on into the giving for the good work of this spiritual community. When you take your tithes, your donations, your folding money, as my granny used to say, however your financial support comes, know that you're appreciated. And we give thanks that the prayers and the blessings that come with the money to support your board and all the people making decisions here, that we make the best decisions with what we have, with where we are, the time we have. We make the very wisest decisions for this spiritual community. I personally feel grateful to be able to tithe to something I believe so much in, what we're doing here. So we are going to have a song. We're going to bless the offerings, bless the offering givers. We know it all comes back to us multiplied in many, many ways. And we are going to hear now, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say, look for the good. I left last Sunday singing Look for the Good in Everyone, and I came in this morning and they were practicing it. This is one of my favorite songs. So as we receive your tithes and offerings, look for the good.
I thought you wanted to count.
No, I don't. Thank you. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. People done gone crazy. People done gone mad. People done forgot the superpowers we all have. We were born to love, not hate, but we can decide our fate. Look for the good in everyone. Celebrate all our mistakes. This silver lining, silver lining. You still have to find it, find it, find it. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone needs sunshine. Everyone needs rain. Everyone is carrying around some kind of pain. I see who you are. You're just like me. I see you're searching for a purpose, guided by a dream. I see who you are. I'm just like you. I get lost sometimes, and I forget what I came here to do. I keep on trying, and it gets fighting. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. Always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone. Everyone is nature, everyone is God, everyone is love and light and vibration. Look for the good, look for the good, everyone gets mad sometimes and maybe they should. Look for the good, look for the good, yeah, look out for all the heroes in your neighborhood. Look for the good, look for the good, and life will sure be sweeter. Everybody would look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good in everyone. Look for the good in everything. Look for the people who will set your soul free. It always seems impossible until it's done. Look for the good. Look for the good. Look for the good in everyone.
For the good in everyone. Just turn to somebody and say, look
Look for the good in everyone. And I see the good in you. I see the good in you. I see the good. So we bless all these offerings, all these donations. We bless all the $10,000 checks that are in the mailbox right now. We bless all the people thinking about writing those $10,000 checks. We give thanks for all the ways our abundance comes to us in the creation of this beautiful spiritual center called Unity Myrtle Beach. We give thanks. So it is. So we let it be. Namaste. All righty. Preston wants to share a little bit with us about the Youth Academy.
Oh, great.
Okay.
When I'm introduced, it's always mentioned that I have a youth academy in Liberia. And I'm not going to go into the history of it, but I just want to share some of the good news and things that's been happening in the past 10 years. I have 31 students who are from elementary school to high school on scholarship.
Wow.
Those things I pay. But the most beautiful part that has happened recently, I said 31, that's not true. 41 students. And 31 who are now in college on full scholarships. I pay them. And as a matter of fact, they have either been chosen because of soccer or athletic or academics or both. All of my students have to maintain a B average at least. And we've only had to rescind one scholarship in 10 years.
Wow.
And as I was coming this morning, I got a call from my son in Africa saying 3 students were chosen yesterday from a soccer game, and will be sitting for entrance exams tomorrow. So soon I'll have 40-some students in college on full scholarship. So keep up the good work.
Thanks. That's wonderful news. So let's give thanks for all our blessings, those we see and those we're yet to see. We want to welcome everybody here today. Is there anybody here for the first time? I know we've had Preston's 2 guests introduced. Anybody else for the first time? Okay, it's all us old chickens. Okay, good. We want to remind you the prayer box is on the back table. The month at a glance for May is on the back table. You need to look at everything that's going on because the announcements up here are getting way too long and I can't say everything. So I'm going to try to say a few things. Sonny, come on forward. Unity Outreach, we've got a sneaker/tennis shoe drive going on, and the boxes are on the front porch. These are new shoes in behalf of Help for Kids. All sizes are needed, so you don't have to worry about which size, just make them new. Sneakers or tennis shoes, and the boxes are on the front porch. Wednesday afternoons, book group, chair yoga. Thursday afternoons, A Course in Miracles with John Wilder. Next Sunday is Unity Minister Reverend Marilyn Maddox, who will speak on soul mastery. That's based on a book by another Unity minister, Reverend Tony Bain. If you want to learn how to work with energy, your own energy, in creating a powerful presence for good in the world, her Zoom class on this book will begin May 29th. All of that is where?
On the back table.
Back table on your month at a glance. Also, on May 29th, we have a Course in Miracles teacher.
Yes.
Brought by Sonny.
Okay.
Yeah, he's going to be here. He's from Brazil. He's traveled to over 35 countries. He's spoken at over 2,500 presentations that he's been asked to. He was a teacher for over 25 years in A Course of Miracles, and now is a facilitator in A Course of Love. And, you know, he is building the new with us. So all of you guys, really, God needs you. And to be there in his presence is to feel your holiness. respect, and love. He will probably speak about 30 or 45 minutes because I asked him to come. There's no charge. So I do hope that you will come and be a part of this. It's going to be on Wednesday, the 29th of May, and
2 to 4.
2 to 4. So thank you.
And those flyers are where? Back table. Yay, okay. And then there's so much wonderful creative energy moving around here, y'all. On June 6th, Shirley Shear, who's out of town today, she will start a group called Focus on Fillmore. And she will be studying with us the teachings of Fillmore, and she's been studying those teachings for over 40 years, and she would like to share some of that with all of us. Now, on to the most important thing happening. One of the most important things. Saturday, June 15th. These flyers are on the back table. There's going to be 3 different things going on. Jesus Hernandez is going to be heading up the Daylily Open House and Sale. We get to buy the daylilies now. Isn't that great? And they're coming up out in the garden. They're already shining forth. And then we have the Unity Green Team Plant Sale, headed up by Mary Wilder, our Green Team leader. And so you can come here and buy your plants. But you need to also remember, they need volunteers and they need plants to sell. So, to sell. So you can start your little cuttings. I've started mine and have them all ready and healthy for June 15th. And then there's more. In the big red barn, there's going to be an indoor barn sale. So volunteers are needed for that. And guess what else we want? Your stuff. So we want slightly, gently used, clean. Clean and gently used. Like somebody delivered to me a few days ago at my townhouse a plug-in cooler. And she said, well, it doesn't work. I said, then we don't want it. She said, well, I thought somebody can fix it. I said, for this sale, we only want working, clean, gently used, okay? And we can start bringing our stuff after potluck on the first Sunday of June, June 2nd. We can start loading up the barn with our stuff. So proceeds from daylily sale and plant sale go to those 2 gardens. And proceeds from the indoor barn sale go to our building fund. Isn't that wonderful? Yes. So these flyers are on the back table. And I believe we have covered it all. Did I forget anything?
No clothing.
No clothing, no shoes, no
No,
clothing.
no.
You
You have to wear clothing, but don't bring clothes. We're not collecting shoes and clothes for the indoor barn sale. Only good, clean, slightly used stuff. No clothes and shoes.
And pre-price.
Oh, thank you. Pre-price your stuff.
Yes.
Anything else? Jane, did you have your hand up? No. Anything else?
I'm wearing a birthday suit, so.
Okay. Did we cover it all? So I think we're done. And what a wonderful day. So let's say our unity prayer, which I forgot to lead us in last Sunday. You got to watch these platform people. They just redesign everything. Okay, so this is a prayer inspired by Unity's poet laureate James Dillett Freeman. He wrote the early version at the beginning of World War II. This has blessed a lot of people since then around the world. So together, the light of God surrounds us, the presence of love enfolds us, the power of peace protects us, and the one presence that lives within all creation enlivens us. Wherever we are, love is, peace is, light is, God is, and all is well. Y'all, let's stand for our peace song. Yes, there is peace.
you.